Okay, we're gonna give it just another minute or two to see if more of your classmates show up. If not, that's on them. And we'll go from there. Okay, thanks. Alrighty. So I wanted to, today is a work day, so you're gonna have 3 hours or 2 hours and 55 minutes. I'm gonna take 5 minutes at the beginning just to like remind you of everything that's due next week, because next week is our last day. Where we'll be doing your presentations. So, just a reminder of everything that's coming due. I'll go ahead and open the syllabus, and then I'll also walk you through where to find stuff on Blackboard. All righty. So, we are here. And so I didn't hand out exam 4 yet, so of course it can't be due yet. So that's due next week. And then you'll be presenting your posters next week. You don't have to print them, we'll just put them up here and go from there. And then your assessment report will also be due. And some of you might be going, what is all that? Well, no worries, we're gonna go over it real quick, okay? So for your group project, you'll see that there's a template and instructions for how to make the posters. And then if you click on sample posters, we have posters from almost every year I've taught this class. I didn't put up 2021s for some reason, but you can kind of look at how other people did their posters and get an idea of what it looks like. And so that's something y'all should put together as a group. I'm just going to reshare so it's on the recording. There we go. And it's just one big PowerPoint slide. If PowerPoint will open, this will be a fun task. And it tells you what to write on each part. So you'll have an introduction where you give some background. A lot of this you did for your IRB, right? So you can just kind of take that and expand it. You'll have your hypothesis or research question. You'll have your method. Some sort of illustration of your data, table, a graph, fun stuff like that. Your results, a discussion of your results. And then if you have room, you can put your references on the poster. If not, you can just bring them on a piece of paper and give it to me. Now, this template is ugly. Fully acknowledge. So you all can mess with the colors and move around the boxes and things like that. And you can also update the logo because it's still the Virginia Wesleyan College one. Wow, that's a throwback. And so that is where you will put everything. So I know a lot of you are at the collecting data points. That's going to be the hardest part in next week for y'all. Get all your data in, put it in SPSS, run your analyses, right? And then make the poster. So what I would do as you're waiting for your data to be collected is to do the parts of your poster you can do already, right? Do the intro, do the hypothesis or a research question, do the method, right? So that once you get that data in, you run those SPSS things, you just plop that off, right? If people are needing help with SPSS, let me know, schedule individual meetings. We could try and figure out a time on reading day where everybody can come in to the computer lab, or no, not the computer lab here, because we know the computer lab doesn't work. I'm very willing to help you with SPSS because I know even though you've messed with it before, it's different when it's your data, right? And then the assessment report. And so you have a template for that as well. Again, opening slowly. This looks promising. So it lists everything you all have taken over the course of the semester, and then it gives you little parts to write in your partner's results, right? So this follows that intake sheet you did for the unstructured interview. So you just sort of put their answers in there. Then there's one for the skid. So you put their answers in there. Like on the screener, you could say they said yes to these questions, or you could say they didn't say yes to anything, right? You could say which symptoms they endorsed on each of these sections. And then we have all your little personality questionnaires you take. Oh, I didn't like little makes me sound like I'm demeaning that. My mouth, they were the shorter ones, right? And then your fall break one, which you should give your responses to your partner, right? And then the R bands, and then your GRE practice problems. Then you do a paragraph for summary and conclusions, and then recommendations. So should this person do therapy? Should they go to the learning center, right? What would you be your recommendations for that person? Those of you who are here in person, I have paper copies of just about everything in case you missed something. And if you can't find it, I can help you get another copy. On here, I also have copies of everything. So you can download those, everything but the R bands. The R bands I do not have, simply because it's very copywritten. For the R bands though, what you all have right now, right, are just raw scores that the person scored like a 20 on the subtest. What does that mean? And so what I put on here for you is a little Excel sheet that will convert those to percentiles for you. So you put in, let's say this person on list learning got a 20. Hope helps if I say I enable editing. Then it'll give you your percentile, right? Let's say they got a 35, right? Oh, their percentile is the 84th. Awesome. Right? It'll even give you the Z-score. So you can like flash back to the beginning of the semester. And so then you would report the percentiles in your report because those are going to be more meaningful than just the raw scores. Alrighty, don't save. So those are the three things. I'm going to pass out the exam now. So exam same format it has been. I guess. And then you'll be doing your poster as a group. You'll come up and just talk about it for, I don't know, maybe take you 5 minutes to walk through it, right? Like next week won't necessarily be long, which is fine. Because you all have a lot of other things to study for, right? And then you'll turn these in next week. And we'll do any kind of reflection. Y'all have questions for me about anything? Yes.
How many people do we need to actually do?
Good question. I think I said 30. So it's like if your group is 3 people, you each get 10 basically. If you can't get there, that's fine. Just get as many as you can. So there. Yeah.
Do you expect us to be like dressed up for our presentation?
Like I almost came in a hoodie today, so no. I might have yoga pants on next week. We'll see. No, you don't need to. Good question. Okay, cool. So now you have, oh, sorry, it's only 2 hours and 50 minutes. I talked a little longer than I thought. You have this amount of time to work on getting your data, work on the poster as a group. If you need to with your partner, do any of the assessments. Like I said, I have hard copies up here. And I'm just here. So call me over, come up and see me. I have a bunch of people turned in exam 3, so I'm going to be grading those. And you know, if you don't need me, I'll just be doing that. But I will be here until 9 as long as there are people around. So. All right, and Elijah, I'm going to just turn off the Zoom because that's all I had for today. And then just connect with your partners, however.